Ever notice how certain patterns just keep, well, repeating in your life? Maybe you see it in relationships or at work, or even just how your day seems to unfold sometimes. It's as if there are these constant, often unseen forces kind of at play, subtly shaping our reality and, delivering the results we experience.
That's a really profound observation.
Today, we're taking a truly deep dive into something utterly fundamental. This powerful, undeniable idea that nothing, and I mean nothing, happens in a vacuum. Every single thing we put out there,
Yeah.
it comes back.
Absolutely. And what we often just dismiss as, random chance, or maybe just how things are, is in truth an incredibly intricate, interwoven tapestry, cause and effect, really.
Right.
Within this magnificent design of existence, every single decision we make, every action we take, every word, even every thought we hold, it resonates. It sends out a kind of echo.
An echo, yeah.
And that resonance, that echo, it inevitably finds its way back to us. Always.
Okay, let's unpack this because we've got some absolutely thought-provoking material today. Really makes you think. It's a fascinating transmission, apparently from a source identified as Laka of the Pleiades, shared via the YouTube channel Transcender MLUZ. And this message, it delves into this, ancient universal wisdom, the principle that everything we do, every single choice, big or small, comes with what it calls a reward.
Right, the reward.
Now, when we say reward, we're not just talking about like a prize or a gold star, in the usual sense.
Not at all.
No, instead, we're talking about an inherent consequence, a natural, unavoidable return on the energetic investment we're constantly pouring out into the world. It's like this cosmic feedback loop, you could say.
That's a great way to put it. And what's truly fascinating here, and I think incredibly liberating actually, is the nuanced perspective this source offers on recompense.
Oh, so?
Well, it frames it not as some system of external punishment or, arbitrary gratification handed down by some cosmic judge. It's not about being good or bad in that simplistic way. Okay.
Rather, it's presented as the natural, inevitable manifestation of our choices, whether those choices were made consciously, with really clear intent, or unconsciously maybe driven by deeper, unexamined impulses.
Oh, okay. So conscious and unconscious.
Exactly. It's presented as an intrinsic operating principle of the universe itself. Energy in motion always generates an equivalent return. It's almost like physics in a way.
Huh. Okay. So our mission today, then, is to really try and uncover the mechanics of this universal law. How do our choices, from the tiny little things to the huge life-altering ones, create these ripples that eventually expand and come back to us? And what's the role our ego plays in all this? Because the source mentions that, and it seems significant.
It definitely is. And maybe most importantly for you listening, what does understanding all this mean for living a more intentional life? A more joyful and ultimately a more fulfilling life? We really want to equip you with some powerful insights today. Help you recognize these patterns in your own journey, and hopefully empower you to make more informed, more aligned decisions going forward.
And this deep dive, it'll guide us into a much deeper reflection, I think, on the honesty of our true intentions, and crucially, the alignment of our actions with those intentions.
Honesty and alignment. Okay.
By really understanding these principles, we can connect these insights to the bigger picture of personal transformation. And this seems especially relevant given what the source describes as, an accelerating rate of energetic returns in our current global environment.
So things are speeding up.
That's the implication. It suggests a time of heightened impact for our choices. More immediate feedback, perhaps.
All right, let's dive right into the core of this then. The universal law of recompense. Nothing is lost. The source, Laka, wastes no time, just lays it out there, stating unequivocally that everything you do, everything you decide, inevitably brings a reward. Now that's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? A very encompassing claim. It just completely challenges that whole idea of actions without consequences.
It absolutely does.
Suggesting instead this profound, ever-present cosmic accountability for, everything we do.
And what's really crucial to grasp here, I think, is the emphasis that this isn't just about the grand, pivotal, life-altering decisions, the big forks in the road.
Right, not just changing careers or moving countries.
Exactly. Laka explicitly states this law applies to every choice, every single action, every small gesture, even every word and thought. Imagine that level of granularity.
Wow, every thought.
That's what the source suggests. Nothing, not one single energetic imprint, is ever truly lost in the void. It's beautifully illustrated with that analogy of a seed, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the seed analogy. Tell us about that.
It says, a seed launched will germinate sooner or later bringing fruits, some sweet, others bitter, but all precious in their learning.
Precious in their learning. I like that. So even the bad stuff is useful.
That's the implication. It speaks to an intrinsic intelligence woven into the very fabric of existence, where energy expended always returns to its source in some form. It's a profound call for us to shift our mindset. Maybe away from thinking we can occasionally get away with something.
We've all thought that.
Right. And instead, embrace a mindset of profound, constant responsibility for every energetic output we offer. Every single one.
That seed analogy is incredibly powerful. It really paints a vivid picture. And Laka is saying that whether the fruit is sweet or bitter, it's always precious in its learning. Yeah. Think about that. It's like dropping a pebble in a totally calm pond. Those ripples, they don't just stop after the first circle, do they?
No, they keep going.
They keep expanding outwards, touching every edge of that pond, and eventually they even return to the shore, maybe even right back to where the pebble first hit the water.
Exactly.
And this principle isn't just about the dramatic life shifts, but the cumulative impact of our everyday micro-decisions. It's almost like the universe is this incredibly sophisticated, always-on ledger, just meticulously taking notes on our every move, every thought, every feeling, and preparing the appropriate return.
And that's a key distinction, too. It's not framed as a punitive law. It's not designed to punish mistakes or reward good deeds in some simplistic, judgmental way.
Okay, that's important.
It's deeply observational. The recompense isn't necessarily a judgment from outside. It's more like a natural, organic outcome of the energy we've set in motion.
Right. Cause and effect.
Precisely. And that precious learning that comes from both the sweet and the bitter fruits, that's central to its purpose. It implies that even the most difficult or challenging consequences serve a higher function. They're constantly guiding us toward greater wisdom, deeper self-awareness, and ultimately, faster evolution.
So it's always helping us grow, even when it hurts.
That seems to be the core idea. It's a continuous, benevolent feedback loop, constantly refining our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmic order.
Okay, here's where it gets really fascinating. And it may be a little challenging for some of us to fully wrap our heads around, because it asks us to look deeper than we usually might. Laka then discusses our choices within what the Source calls the dream of life. It highlights that throughout our earthly journey, we're continually navigating these innumerable crossroads.
Right, constant choices.
Yeah, we stand at these junctions, and some choices, they lead us down paths of beauty, joy, and peace, definitely. While others, just as inevitably, guide us toward challenges, disturbances, and even chaos. We've all experienced both.
Absolutely.
But then comes the real kicker, the deeper insight. In every decision, there is always an explicit or hidden intention that shapes the fruits to be harvested. Even when we genuinely believe we're deciding consciously, with full awareness, Laka reveals that subtle movements are happening in your unconscious planes.
And this point specifically raises a fundamentally important question for all of us, I think. How much of what we perceive as our own free will is truly conscious? And how much is actually influenced by these deeper, often hidden subconscious currents operating beneath the surface?
Yeah, how much are we driving versus something else?
Exactly. The Source powerfully suggests that understanding these underlying, sometimes unconscious intentions is absolutely crucial. And why? Because the reward, the outcome, will always align with that deeper, often unspoken impetus, not just the surface-level reason or the story we tell ourselves or tell other people.
Wow. Okay. So it's not what we say we want necessarily.
It might be, but the alignment needs to be with the deepest driver. It's a profound call for much deeper self-inquiry. It urges us to look beyond the immediate thought or the logical justification and genuinely ask what true need or fear or desire might be subtly driving me here. It's like an invitation to become archaeologists of our own inner landscapes.
It's almost like our inner GPS is sometimes running on a completely different map than the one we're consciously looking at, isn't it?
That's a perfect analogy.
We might think we're choosing a path for a very clear, logical reason. Maybe, career advancement or financial security. Makes sense on the surface. But unconsciously, maybe we're actually driven by a deep-seated hidden need for approval. Maybe from a parent or a lingering fear of not being good enough, or perhaps a desire to prove something to someone from our past.
Right, those hidden drivers.
And Laka's message hints that our true intention, even if it's hidden from our conscious mind, is what ultimately dictates the nature of the reward. So if we consciously choose a career for success, but unconsciously, it's driven mainly by a fear of failure or needing external validation.
Then the reward might not be genuine fulfillment.
Exactly. It could just be a temporary relief from that fear, which then inevitably just bubbles back up, leaving us still searching, still feeling incomplete.
Precisely. And this is where the practical application of this wisdom becomes incredibly empowering. If we connect this to the bigger picture of personal agency, becoming truly aware of these subtle, unconscious drivers could fundamentally empower each of us to make far more aligned choices in our lives.
How so?
Well, if we can actually identify those hidden motivations, maybe it's old conditioning, unexamined fears, unresolved desires, or traumas, we then gain the ability to consciously course correct.
So we can steer differently once we see the hidden map.
Exactly. It shifts us from feeling like, passive passengers swept along by forces we don't understand to becoming conscious navigators of our own ship. We start aligning our conscious intent with our deepest, most authentic soul-level desires.
Okay.
And this kind of deep introspection, this self-honesty, then becomes an invaluable tool. It gives us greater personal freedom, allowing us to proactively influence the very nature of the recompense we receive, making sure it genuinely serves our highest growth.
Okay, moving on from those deep individual choices, let's explore how this universal law plays out in, our relationships. Starting with friendship, which Laka describes as nothing short of a sacred gift.
Sacred gift.
Yeah, and an enriching exchange where what it calls invisible presents are constantly circulating. Now, these aren't material gifts, right? We're not talking birthday presents, though that could be part of it.
No, it's deeper than that.
Right. The source speaks of moments of love, shared adventures, heartwarming laughter, or comfort offered in moments of pain. The real stuff. And Laka notes, in true friendship, something always flourishes, even in silence.
What's truly fascinating here is how the source deliberately highlights the often unquantifiable yet absolutely immense value of genuine connection. These invisible presents, they're profoundly energetic, emotional. The recompense in genuine friendship is rarely an external, tangible gain you can measure or put a price on. Instead, it's an internal expansion of joy, a deep sense of security, profound mutual growth. It's a powerful testament, really, to the idea that some of the most profound rewards in life aren't material at all.
No, not even close.
They're deeply spiritual, emotional, intrinsically human. True friendship, when it's nurtured, creates this rich, fertile soil where both souls flourish. It fosters a constant, often silent cycle of giving and receiving that just transcends mere words or fleeting gestures. It's a continuous wellspring of energetic support.
Okay, let's unpack this invisible presence thing a bit more, because it really resonates, doesn't it? It's not about what you get materially from a friend, like in a transaction.
Not at all.
It's that invaluable feeling of being truly seen, deeply understood, and unconditionally loved for exactly who you are, without any pretense, without judgment. That in itself is a massive, immeasurable reward, isn't it? It's the silent currency of authentic connection, the profound feeling of belonging, the comfort of knowing someone genuinely has your back even when you're vulnerable.
Absolutely.
These are the truly precious fruits of true friendship that Laka speaks of. They build this powerful energetic reserve within us, I think.
And this emphasis on the invisible, on the energetic aspects, points directly to a higher form of exchange. The real value isn't measured in a ledger of favors given and received.
Right, not keeping score.
No, it's measured in the subtle yet profound transformation and enrichment each person experiences. It's about how each individual is expanded, supported, allowed to blossom through the authentic presence of the other. The recompense here is the very fabric of mutual respect and affection that strengthens both individuals, allowing them to navigate life with greater resilience and joy. It's a beautifully balanced energetic system. The output of love, empathy, support becomes the vital input for shared well-being.
But, as with everything in this duality of life Laka talks about, there's also a shadow side, a contrast to this sacred gift.
There often is.
The source contrasts true friendship with scenarios where the bond is tragically taken for granted. When that happens, Laka says, the proximity dissolves slowly like sand escaping through the fingers. It's this gradual, almost imperceptible erosion.
Oh, yeah.
And then, even more profoundly, Laka addresses betrayal, stating that when one betrays or deceives a friend, the inevitable consequence is mistrust, rupture, distancing. Pretty straightforward.
Yes, sadly.
And the reward for such an act, it's described as the loss of what was valued, prompting that really poignant self-searching question, was it worth it?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this section powerfully illustrates how this universal law operates even at the deepest emotional and relational levels.
Right. It's not just abstract.
No. The consequence of disrespect, neglect, or deception isn't delivered by some external judge or a karmic lightning bolt. It's the natural, organic erosion of the very fabric of trust and connection that sustains the bond.
It just falls apart naturally.
Essentially, the loss of what was valued isn't an imposed penalty. It's the inherent, inevitable outcome of choices that devalue the relationship itself. And that worth question is so central, isn't it? It forces an assessment of intrinsic, enduring values like trust, loyalty, connection, versus temporary or fleeting gains, often ego-driven, that might have motivated the betrayal.
Yeah, why did they do it?
Exactly. It highlights that the most damaging recompenses are often deeply internal and relational. They leave scars far deeper than any external loss might.
That's a harsh reward, losing something valuable like that. But it's incredibly understandable, isn't it? If you betray someone's trust, the natural, unavoidable consequence is, well, the trust is broken.
Simply put, yes.
And once that delicate thing is shattered, it becomes incredibly difficult, maybe impossible, to fully regain it. Not to its original state, anyway.
Very rarely.
It really makes you stop and ask that piercing question. Was that temporary gain, that fleeting moment of self-serving action, truly worth the permanent loss of a valued connection? And the internal burden of mistrust and regret that follows. This section offers a powerful moment for all of us, including you listening, to really reflect on our own relationships, the choices we've made, maybe times we've taken things for granted, or perhaps times we've been on the receiving end of betrayal.
Indeed. Laka describes this breakdown as a kind of natural entropy of connection. When that vital, energetic investment, consistent respect, care, genuine value is absent, the bond simply cannot sustain itself in its original healthy form.
It just needs that energy flow.
It does. And this serves as a critical reminder that our actions carry profound vibrational consequences, directly impacting the quality, longevity, and energetic health of our most cherished relationships. The reward of distancing, while often painful, functions as a profound teaching moment. It guides us back towards valuing authenticity, integrity, and the sacredness of true connection. It's like a rebalancing mechanism of the universe.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, and maybe, for many of us, a little uncomfortable, because it forces us to look inward at our own motivations.
The ego stuff.
Yeah, the source takes a deep dive into the ego's role in our interactions, especially within this duality of Earth. Laka tells us the ego plays a fundamental role, constantly seeking energetic nourishment. Just think about that phrase, energetic nourishment.
What does it feed on?
Exactly. And it's not always obvious. It can be incredibly subtle. For example, Laka says, behind a smile, there may exist the need for approval, validation, to be seen and recognized.
The hidden agenda behind the smile.
Right. Laka notes that humans, through conditioning, become conditioned to seek comfort, praise, and external well-being. And when those external sources are lacking, the ego stirs and cries, I need more, I need to be more.
That feeling of lack.
Yeah, and this insatiable need, Laka explains, gets projected onto another human being, who often becomes a mirror or source of what the ego believes it needs. And here's the crucial part. This is also a form of recompense, although temporary, because it meets a momentary lack.
What's truly fascinating here is the incredibly nuanced, almost empathetic perspective Laka offers on the ego. It's not painted as inherently dark or malicious.
Not evil.
Not necessarily, more like a deeply conditioned mechanism. A part of our human experience that's constantly seeking external reassurance and validation to fill an internal void.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the concept of a temporary recompense for these egoic drives reveals a fundamental truth. External validation, while it feels good for a moment, may be even satisfying.
Sure, who doesn't like praise?
Right, but by its very nature, it cannot provide the lasting, deep, authentic fulfillment that genuinely comes from true self-acceptance and inner alignment. It highlights this critical distinction between ego-driven needs, which are inherently fleeting, always needing a top-up, and soul-aligned desires, which are enduring, self-sustaining, and lead to real inner peace. It's a vital call for us to discern the true source of our motivations in our interactions.
So think about that subtle smile we put on or how we phrase something. Sometimes, yeah, it's genuine joy or connection, but sometimes deep down, it's that silent, maybe unconscious plea, am I good enough? Do you see me? Do you approve? It's not necessarily bad, like you said, it's just how we've been conditioned.
Yeah.
But that external praise, that temporary validation, it's often like a sugar rush, isn't it?
Good analogy.
Provides a momentary fix, a quick burst of pleasure, a fleeting reward that, as Laka says, meets only a momentary lack. It doesn't truly fill the deeper energetic tank, and soon enough, that feeling of emptiness comes back and the ego stirring again, crying for more. How many times do we find ourselves chasing likes or approvals or the perfect compliment, only to feel empty or even worse afterwards?
And that recurring feeling of emptiness, or the constant need for more, is the subtle yet persistent recompense. It's the feedback for continually seeking fulfillment from external sources rather than cultivating it internally.
The emptiness is the reward in that sense.
In a way, yes, it's the consequence. The source implies that a heightened awareness of these subtle ego influences can lead to more authentic interactions and a much deeper understanding of ourselves. When we start to see why we're projecting these needs onto others, when we recognize that hungry ego at play,
A hungry ghost, yeah.
we can then begin the crucial work of addressing the root cause within ourselves. And that shift moves us away from using others as mirrors for the ego's temporary fix and guides us towards engaging from a place of wholeness, self-sufficiency, and genuine connection. And that, in turn, leads to a far more profound, lasting, and enriching recompense for everyone involved.
Okay, so with all that in mind, what about the delicate dance of giving and receiving in all our relationships, not just friendship?
The balance.
Yeah. Laka states clearly that all relationships, friendship, family, partnership, or love, carry within them the law of giving and receiving. And when this balance is maintained, there is harmony and joy as both feel nourished. Makes sense.
It does. Equilibrium.
But a critical turning point occurs when one party stops offering and only receives, or when one gives without receiving anything, the balance is disrupted. And Lacan warns the bond
Transforms or breaks down.
Right. The source clarifies that one person uses the other merely to fill their needs, and this one-sided fulfillment, Laka explains, is their recompense. That's what they get out of it, temporarily. Meanwhile, the exploited person, the one giving without replenishment, will naturally move away in search of another source of support, affection, or recognition. And this movement, this self-preservation, is also a recompense, a different kind.
This section raises a huge question about the sustainability and energetic health of relationships, doesn't it? The recompense for this imbalance isn't some arbitrary judgment, it's an inevitable consequence. The relationship either morphs into something unsustainable, often toxic, or it just breaks apart.
You can't survive like that.
No. Laka isn't presenting this like a transactional ledger where every give and take has to be precisely equal materially. It's more about a vital, energetic flow.
Right. The feeling of it.
Yes. When that flow becomes severely one-sided, the bond just cannot sustain its original healthy form. For the taker, the reward is temporary need fulfillment, but often at the cost of genuine connection and trust. For the giver, the reward of eventually leaving, while painful, is the potential for healthier future connections. And for the one who consistently exploits, their reward is often the eventual profound isolation that comes from their actions. The universe always seeks balance.
It's truly a natural correction, isn't it? A rebalancing act the universe itself orchestrates.
Yeah.
Whether it's a friend, partner, family member, that give and take gets way out of whack, the whole thing tilts, like a seesaw stuck on one side.
Exactly. It stops being functional.
The source says when one person just takes, or one just gives, the bond transforms. And for the one being drained, their reward is eventually seeking balance elsewhere. It's a self-correcting mechanism. This part, I think, is incredibly relatable. It prompts us, you listening included, to evaluate the energetic balance in our own relationships. Are you giving too much? You're receiving too little? Or maybe unintentionally taking more than you give, not realizing the subtle recompense building up?
It's absolutely crucial for self-reflection and for empathy, too. The transformation or dissolution of such a bond can be a painful recompense for those who fail to maintain the balance. But it's also a powerful catalyst for growth and learning for everyone involved.
Even the person leaving learns something.
Oh, definitely. For the person who leaves an exploited dynamic, making that decision is a profound act of self-preservation and self-love. And moving towards healthier dynamics is, in itself, a profoundly positive recompense. The underlying principle is clear. Energy seeks equilibrium, and our relationships are no exception.
Now, this law of recompense isn't just about personal relationships. Laka reminds us it plays out vividly in our careers, our daily work, too.
Yes, the professional sphere.
The source says every job, every service, every craft brings a consequence, which is the reward. Makes perfect sense, right? Every hour we invest, every bit of effort, every decision at work, it generates a return, a reward.
Indeed. The professional sphere is incredibly rich ground for observing these principles. And the reward here, as Laka describes it, extends far beyond just the financial.
More than the paycheck.
Much more. It encompasses the energetic return of our daily investment of time, talent, passion. It fundamentally challenges that purely transactional view of work so common today.
Right. Just trading hours for money.
Exactly. It introduces the deeper concept of intrinsic recompense, that internal satisfaction or dissatisfaction that often gets overlooked when we only focus on salary. The ultimate consequence isn't just the money, it's the overall energetic experience, the impact of our labor on ourselves and maybe the world.
So what does this mean for our work choices? The source paints two very different pictures, highlighting how the quality of the recompense differs based on our approach.
A stark contrast.
On one hand, Laka talks about those who choose their career with wisdom and care, embracing what resonates with their soul. For them, the reward goes beyond salary. There is pleasure, meaning, joy in what they do. It's an internal wellspring.
And this point raises that important, often uncomfortable question. Are we letting external pressures, societal expectations, or maybe deep fears dictate our careers? Or are we really listening to that deeper call of our soul, that inner knowing guiding us toward fulfillment?
Big question.
Laka makes it clear. The recompense from our work, whether it's fulfillment or frustration, is a direct reflection of that foundational choice of intention. When our work aligns with our soul's expression, the reward is holistic. It covers financial stability, yes, but also purpose, creativity, inner contentment. It's not about the job title itself, the energy and intention we bring, and how authentically it expresses who we are.
And then, the other side of the coin. Laka describes others who, maybe out of perceived necessity or lack of awareness, enter professional paths merely to survive, without preparation, without passion.
Just growing through the motions.
Yeah. For them, the result is frequently frustration, dissatisfaction, emptiness. The reward, Laka states starkly, is the feeling that one is fulfilling tasks without life, without brilliance.
Wow. Without life, without brilliance. That's potent.
Isn't it? It's such a stark contrast to the first picture. A hollow existence versus one brimming with joy, meaning energy, just existing versus truly living.
And that reward of dissatisfaction, frustration, emptiness, it's actually a crucial energetic signal. It's a form of recompense that serves as an undeniable prompt for change.
Like an alarm bell.
Exactly, urging the individual to reevaluate their choices, their intentions, and to actively seek greater alignment. It's not a judgment, just an observation of the law. Energy input devoid of passion or soul alignment inevitably yields an output lacking fulfillment. This part will likely resonate deeply with listeners feeling stuck or unfulfilled, offering a new lens on their situation and the real potential for a different kind of reward, one that truly nourishes.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and inspiring. It shifts our whole perspective on success and abundance. The source tells us the greatest reward in work isn't just money or status.
What is it then?
It's the feeling of accomplishment and creativity, for it is in the expression of the soul that true abundance arises. Laka emphasizes this isn't just about receiving material resources, though that can be a byproduct, but about feeling that one is contributing, that one is creating, that one is expanding life.
Expanding life. That's beautiful.
Isn't it? That's a profound thought. It completely shifts our societal view of success, what we should truly be striving for in our work, and maybe in all aspects of life.
What's fascinating here is this elevation of true abundance, far beyond the material. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests that when our work aligns with our soul's expression, the recompense is this holistic flourishing.
Right, everything working together.
Yes, it includes internal joy, creative fulfillment, external impact, a deep sense of purpose. This kind of abundance is far more enduring, satisfying, and resilient than any temporary monetary gain or external praise. It speaks directly to that intrinsic human need to create, to contribute meaningfully, and to experience life as this continuous expansion, not contraction or scarcity. That feeling of vital expansion is the ultimate recompense here.
So after exploring all these facets of recompense, from subtle unconscious choices to relationships and work, what does this all mean for living more consciously? Laka really brings it home here, stating clearly that the great foundational lesson for anyone seeking wisdom is honesty with themselves.
The cornerstone.
Yeah, and it's not casual. It involves asking ourselves crucial, sometimes tough, self-reflection questions like, why am I truly choosing this path? Am I doing this out of necessity, fear, pride, or just searching for approval? Or am I choosing this because I genuinely feel the clear, resonant call of my soul?
Those are deep questions.
They are, and Laka clarifies. The question is not whether there will be a result or not, there always will be, but whether that result will be aligned with the growth of your essence or merely the temporary nourishment of the ego.
And this point raises that critical question about authentic agency, self-mastery. The Source encourages us to move beyond superficial motivations, easy answers, and delve into the deeper why behind our choices.
That's the core of conscious living, isn't it?
It really is. It forces us to differentiate between ego-driven motivations, necessity, fear, pride, approval-seeking, and those soul-driven motivations Laka calls the call of my soul. The recompense we get then becomes this incredibly precise diagnostic tool. Does it foster genuine, lasting growth and expansion of our essence? Or does it just temporarily quiet the ego's demands? This is critical thinking applied directly to our own lives. Deep self-inquiry.
That's such a powerful question to ask ourselves before any big decision, isn't it? Am I doing this out of fear or pride or just for a pat on the back? Or is it because my soul, my inner knowing, is truly calling me this way, even if it feels maybe unconventional? It implies the alignment of the reward with our true growth is the ultimate measure of its value.
Right.
If it only feeds the ego, it's fleeting, like that sugar rush, quick, high, inevitable crap.
Unsustainable.
But if it genuinely feeds the soul, fosters our true essence, our evolution, that's where true lasting fulfillment lies. This gives really actionable advice for introspection that could genuinely change our life's trajectory, bring us into deeper harmony.
Exactly. That subtle, critical difference between temporary ego nourishment and genuine, enduring growth of essence is the key distinction. When we align choices with soul wisdom, the recompense contributes to our evolution, expansion, awakening. But when we consistently act mainly from ego, the recompense, while maybe fulfilling a momentary lack, ultimately perpetuates that restless cycle of seeking and dissatisfaction. This self-honesty is the foundation for navigating the law of recompense consciously, empowering us to choose outcomes serving our highest good, leading to lasting peace.
Okay, let's unpack this next incredibly timely point from Laka. The Source reiterates, in every action, every word, and every thought, there was a seed launched. You get that now. And these seeds bear fruits, some sweet, others bitter, but all precious in their learning. Got it. But then comes this really powerful, liberating advice. Do not fear the reward, but choose it wisely. When choices are made consciously, guided by the heart, Laka assures us, one embraces the greater result, one that nurtures not only the ego but the soul. This leads, the Source promises, to fullness, not emptiness, rest in being, not incessant seeking.
And what's truly fascinating and immediately relevant here is Laka's assertion that we are currently living in intense times of transformation.
Intense times.
Yeah.
Feels about right.
Doesn't it? The Source states the energy circulating on the planet accelerates the results and that rewards arrive faster.
Faster rewards, really?
That's the claim. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it implies the feedback loop of recompense, always operating, is now significantly amplified and sped up. The consequences of our choices manifest with greater clarity and much quicker speed. This offers an unparalleled opportunity for rapid learning, accelerated growth, profound personal evolution.
Wow, so no time to waste being unconscious about it.
Exactly. This isn't a time for casual, unconscious decisions. It's a profound invitation for heightened awareness, deep intentionality, conscious choice, because the feedback is more immediate, more direct.
So Lek is basically saying those seeds we're planting, thoughts, words, actions, they're germinating at warp speed right now. That makes conscious choice and self-honesty even more vital now, doesn't it?
Absolutely critical.
It's not just intellectually owning choices, it's understanding the return, the recompense is coming back quicker than ever. And that idea of not fearing the reward, but embracing all experiences, sweet or bitter, as precious in their learning, that's incredibly liberating.
It really is.
It shifts us from ego-driven, anxious seeking to a state of soul-nurturing presence, that rest in being instead of incessant seeking. That, for many, must be a huge aha moment, especially if you feel caught on that modern life hamster wheel, always striving for the next thing.
This accelerated feedback loop Laka speaks of is a profound gift, really, albeit one demanding greater responsibility and awareness. It means we witness the impact of our choices more quickly, allowing faster adjustments, deeper comprehension, more profound course corrections.
Learning on the fly, basically.
In a sense, yes. The recompense, sweet or bitter, is always precious because it's a mirror, showing us exactly where our intentions and actions are leading. The invitation to choose consciously, guided by the heart's wisdom and honesty, becomes a direct path beyond temporary ego satisfactions into enduring fullness, authentic joy, inner peace.
So with all this profound wisdom, what about the ultimate recompense? The final, most enduring reward Laka mentions.
The highest form?
Yeah. The source wraps it up beautifully, explaining the true recompense, one that is never lost, is the awakening of consciousness and the joy of being in alignment with the source. This requires being continually attentive, honest with yourselves, and consistently following what expands the heart.
And this raises that fundamental question challenging conventional wisdom. What truly constitutes abundance in its highest form? Laka clearly redefines it here. The most valuable, enduring recompense isn't material accumulation or external achievement.
Not just stuff.
No, it's an inner state. Conscious awareness, deep spiritual realization, unwavering connection to our deepest essence, to the universal source. That's presented as the enduring, non-temporary reward transcending all others. It urges us with great urgency to radically reevaluate our priorities, aligning daily choices with what truly nourishes our deepest being and fosters this profound spiritual awakening.
That's the ultimate prize, isn't it? It's not primarily about what we get from the world, possessions, status. It's profoundly about who we become through our choices, our journey.
So becoming, yeah.
The awakening of consciousness, the expansive joy of being in authentic alignment with the source of all life. That's the reward that never fades, never diminishes. The one truly nurturing the soul, providing unparalleled peace, belonging, boundless purpose. It's a powerful, ongoing invitation to live from the heart with unwavering honesty, deep moment-to-moment attention.
It's an empowering reminder that our earthly journey is, at its core, fundamentally one of continuous self-discovery and conscious evolution. The universal law of recompense, in this context, serves not as a punitive system, but as a divine, perfectly calibrated mechanism for growth. It continuously reflects back the precise nature of our energetic output, guiding us, refining us, until we ultimately achieve that coveted state of awakened consciousness and joyful alignment with our highest self. This, Laka reveals, is the highest abundance, a state of profound being rather than merely having.
Wow. We've really taken a deep dive today into this profound universal law of recompense, exploring how every single action, thought, intention, big or small, conscious or unconscious, creates that ripple that without fail comes back to us.
No exceptions.
The insightful message from Laka of the Pleiades reminds us so clearly that we are constantly planting seeds in the garden of our lives, and the fruits that emerge, sweet or bitter, are always a perfect reflection of what we've sown. It really highlights that true, lasting fulfillment comes not from chasing fleeting external rewards, but from cultivating that rich inner landscape of honesty, authentic alignment, and consistently heart-guided choices.
Indeed. The profound insights shared today unequivocally emphasize that while rewards and consequences are inevitable, their fundamental nature is entirely within our sphere of influence. Their quality is dictated by the honesty of our deepest intentions and the alignment of our actions with those intentions.
We're the driver's seat, ultimately.
That's the invitation Laka extends, to consciously move beyond passive experience and embrace active, intentional creation of our reality, especially recognizing that these current heightened planetary energies are accelerating the feedback loop, offering unprecedented opportunities for rapid transformative growth and learning.
So, as you go about your day, as you make your next decision, even the next small choice, maybe take a moment to really think about this. If every choice, every word, every thought is planting a seed, what kind of garden are you cultivating with your actions, your intentions? Are you choosing from fear or seeking approval? Or are you genuinely responding to that deep, resonant call of your soul? And what abundance are you truly calling into your life? An abundance maybe far beyond what your rational mind might even imagine or expect.
This leaves us and you, our listener, with a profound and empowering question. Are we merely seeking fleeting temporary satisfaction from external sources, or are we actively, intentionally cultivating a life where our deepest intentions align seamlessly with the universal flow of recompense? A life that leads to an abundance that truly transcends conventional expectations and fosters nothing less than a genuine, profound awakening of consciousness.
Choose wisely.
As Laka reminds us, choose with love, choose with wisdom, choose with clarity, and then you will receive an abundance far beyond what you expect.